Everybody. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Forgive me if I have a little sticker. I have to hide my procedure with acne. Gotta love it. But no. Today we're gonna talk about pigments and why pigments matter in designs. Uh, so when people get designs, whether it's like let's say Japanese or American tradition or anything that has have color, most of the people don't realize that sometimes the ink itself could cause a affection when it exposed to sunlight. For instance, I have my back red with because I have a Hanya mask, and the thing about Hanya mask is like it has to be red or white or blue, depending on what type of choice you have. However, red does affect the sunlight, create rashes because of the pigment in it. Yes, there are some enzymes in there that could be very, very toxic to the body, but it depending on if you have like a trusted artist you can go to, you don't have that problem. But the reason why I'm bringing up with this, for example, is the pigments are should matter to you because everybody has a different reaction when it comes to pigment. And when it comes to getting a design that you like, there's a consequence of doing that. Some of the pigments can easily be getting rid of through what is it, laser removal, and there are some pigments that are impossible. For instance, black and gray will always fade. They will do a good job. And plus, by the way, it just ages really, really well as you get older. So that's why it's important for finding something that is more representative as you think about aging. And that's one thing a lot of people don't think about when it comes to getting something permanently done and modifying your body is some people don't think about the long-term effect, such as the pigment or like the aging of looking in the skin. Why does this matter? Well, I'll tell you why. The thing is that when it comes to getting modification, there are some things that can't hold. So you have to obviously you got to get it touched up professionally, or you have to think about the design. For instance, anything that it has bold lines, such as like this, that you don't have to worry about it. It takes about 20 times to get that lasered off if you really want to get a laser off. And it's permanent. And that's the beautiful thing. That's the cool thing about that. But however, I mean, like when it comes to having colors, colors do fade depending on it. Some colors don't. For instance, I know like red and white and blue. No, yeah, blue, purple, red tend to not fade. It takes hard times to fade, and also green, because let's say you have like a tiger, and you don't like the tiger, but you want to get rid of the tiger. Depending on the boldness of the ink, and on top of that, the amount of powder and pigment is in the skin to actually get it faded. Light colors like yellow and white and red and what else? Purple. It tends to be very harder for the machinery to laser that off. So when you get tattooed, you have to think about like, are you okay for this for the long run? Because in the end, you have to make a decision to be okay living like that for the rest of your life. And you have to have that concept. So, what I mean by that is when you do get tattooed, you want to do it the right way. So, for instance, this sleeve, both of my sleeves right here, they're about 7 years old, still look really, really good. Really, especially the elbow right there. Still looks really, really good. 7 years, man. And because my when I was in Hawaii, a lot of artists says the bolder the tattoo, it will be a lifetime. So it's very, very important to think about these things when it comes to pigments and designs. Most people are not okay. Um, well, they are okay at the beginning, and then later on, they change their mind. It's important to think about the future when it comes to getting these stuff modified in your body. For instance, if you are not sure about things, or you're thinking about lasering it, I'm against lasering because it doesn't work. It really doesn't. I mean, like this right here, this can't be lasered. No matter how bad I want to get rid of it, you can't laser it. It's permanent. You mark yourself for life, and you got to be okay with that. And plus, by the way, once you do get rid of it, because there are certain colors and pigments that can actually be get rid of by the machine, the laser removal machine, it leaves a scar, and you got to be okay with that. Most people now these days gets things that they regret later. So, how to really prevent these things? First, I think you need to find a design that is not, I don't want to say meaningful, that can look good when you're 50. That's a good way to think about it. And not just that, I think the great perfect age to get tattooed is 25. 24, 25. I got my first tattoo when I was 24. Because that way you're less likely to regret it. You're kind of like a little adult almost until you hit 30. But the thing is like I'm bringing this up because it's very, very crucial to be very careful what type of pigment you get, because some pigments can give you a reaction without even noting. But that's why it's important to spend a lot of money on a artist a representative artist that you can trust. For instance, it takes me 4 years to find a perfect artist to get my designs. And I encourage everybody to do that. Like, you should look at the profile, you should talk to them, be curious, ask a design what they want, also what they're really good at. Obviously, my artist didn't like symmetrics designs, but he did it anyway because he likes the challenge. But at the same time, he's really good at Japanese, he's really good at everything except for realism. So when you look for styles and coloring, just keep that back of your mind, because it it will affect you in the long run. So pigments. Let's go bring it back to pigments. Pigments are very crucial because you have to be okay letting that be on you for the rest of your life. When you're at the beach or when you're at the pool, and it will, some pigment fades, some pigment don't, and you got to be okay with that. Like yellow, for example, yellow, you can't laser yellow off because it reflects the light. Some pigment reflects it, like white and yellow reflects the lasering. So no matter how much money you spend on lasering on the yellow pigment, it it's more painful. B, it it doesn't fade. No matter how much you want to fade it, it doesn't fade. It won't break it because it's holding. Because a lot of people don't know, like yellow pigments, like lighter pigments, like white and yellow, are very, very powdery. Most ink, such as colors, are more powder based, so it can give that strong look when it comes to the finished product. So when you do get laser, you're breaking those particles, so your immune systems just kick up and attack it, and then take it to the liver, and then the pigment goes to your liver and your lithophome of your skin for the rest of your life. And I don't know if that's healthy or not, but I don't know. I mean, go for it, you know. But the thing is I won't recommend you do lasering. I think if you're gonna get tattooed, you get it the right way, and you go for styles that are cool, like will never age, like Polynesian, tribal, American tradition, Japanese. Those will always last. But if you have a Pikachu, well, Pikachu is going to stay there for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not. And no matter how much you laser it, you can't laser it because it's mostly yellow base. And it's very, very sad when I hear people who just regret it when they see my designs and they get a little bit um, bummed down. And I feel kind of sorry, but at the same time, they can go back and get it covered up, you know? And you got to talk to professionals that know that area. A lot of people don't want to do that because it's a hassle. I get it. But the thing is there's a real reason why the old schoolers, and when it comes to pigment and fading, because it does fade and change your body no matter what you do. The reason why you should not get your hands and neck and face, one of my favorite tattoo artists in Hawaii, stated the reason why you don't want to get your hands, neck, and face is because if you want to, it's the what do you call it? Vitality of your tattoo, so it can last long and look really, really good. And not just that, I mean, when you get old, it still looks good, especially when you age. I've seen guys who are like in their 50s and they have good designs because they know the secret. And most of those guys would say, don't get your hands because it's not just getting a job, especially today. It's getting really hard to get a job now these days. It's mostly that ability to hide it when it needs to. That's why gangsters in Japan are really good at keeping the hands, neck, and face away from and just having their whole body covered. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about Japanese, in my opinion. And if you want to show, one of my favorite artists said to me, if you want to be tough, if you really want to be a tough guy and you want to show your tattoos, get your foot. And I asked him, why the feet? And he was like, because I won't mess with a guy with a foot tattoo. So it's like not a lot of guys get those feet done, you know, because that's a tough motherfucker, you know. You don't want to mess with that person. But no, I mean, when it comes to pigments, be mindful on getting choices of coloring because there's different types of coloring can give you a reaction, whether you like it or not. Honestly, my advice is talk to a person that is more representative and help you choose a style that is suited. And honestly, if you want to get tattooed and you still feel like you're not ready, that's okay. It takes years. You know, it took me 4 years before I got my bodysuit. It was six years of consistent getting getting the body done. Uh, but at the same time, you have to be okay with the consequences of the ink because some ink does react different to different people. So just keep that in mind because why? It's because the body is sensitive when it comes to pigment. But honestly, I mean, is it healthy for you? Yeah, I mean, based on what I know, I've seen people that I know who just got covered, and they're healthy. They look healthy. But no, man. When it comes to getting those stuff done, just be very mindful. And on top of that, choose a representative artist and choose the right style that can fit your, I won't say aesthetics, your way of thinking, because color is very important. Honestly, one of my favorite artists who did my tattoos, he said to me, black and gray are always safe. Anything else, that's That's your decision. So if you don't know what type of tattoos you want, I prefer you to get it black and gray to be safe. Anywho, I know I've been ranting on a lot of things. I know this is talk about like pigments and stuff, but I will organize this. This is an unedited video, so. But anywho, you guys have a wonderful day. If you like a video, subscribe and write down a comment of your guys' thoughts about pigments and stuff. And I will talk to you more about different designs, such as is it socially acceptable of getting all or getting heavily tattooed? Thanks for watching. We'll talk later. Have a good day. Bye.